The Flooded Strand could be Misty Rainforest or Polluted Delta, or Misty Rainforest or Scalding Tarn or anything like that, and the Marsh Flats could be any black fetch. Generally speaking, I like to keep all of my off-color fetches going into the same third fetch with them, because it allows you to bluff having a third color in your deck. So, like, if I was going to play Scalding Tarn, for instance, I would play Bloodstained Mire as my other black fetch to, like, make my opponent think I could possibly be playing a Grixis deck. No, Cloudpost is not more powerful. Cloudpost is better at casting 15 mana things on turn 4 and 5, which is much worse in Modern in general. I don't think Scion of Una is very good. I think playing cards that are individually weak in Modern is generally a bad thing. And Scion of Una is an individually weak Magic card. Vendilion Clique is a card that kills your opponent very, very quickly. So I would much rather have Vendilion Clique and be able to kill my opponent very, very quickly. And if you have extra Vendilion Clique stuck in your hand, you can click a click out of your own hand. And if you don't have, and if you have like just a second click, your opponent's going to need to kill your first one. If they don't kill your first click, you're going to kill them very quickly. Yes, its effect is good disruption. It dies enough that you want to replace it when it dies. Three ones in the air kill your opponents very fast, which is ideal. I'm just gonna put this Creeping Tarpon into play tap so I can have click up on 3. Speaking of, if they had another 1 mana spell, they probably would have played it this turn. I guess maybe that's not strictly true. This deck is generally speaking very good against spell-based combo decks. This is my 1 Spell Snare. My 1 Spell Snare is amazing. The opponent's playing probably the Ironworks Heartless Summoning combo deck. We actually streamed with this deck before. Does Blue-Black Fae count as a clickbait title? Let's take a peekaboo at what they got going on here. That's a handful of Magic cards. I don't even know what their hand has in it. Neither do they. Neither do they. D-Dashist with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. There's a lot of different people making a lot of great things on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Welcome. They don't know either, right? Meme is basically internet slang for a joke. So it's like saying it's a joke deck. Leonin Relic Warder. Okay, so they've added some like utility cards to the main deck. They put Leonin Relic Warder into their hand. Okay. All right, so if I hit them with this, they go to 10, they go to 7, and then I can click them, tap their lands during their upkeep, and then kill them with click plus Tar Pit. Do you think this deck is good or just like every other 3-2 deck? Good modern decks are a lie. Every deck is just okay. So, tap your lands. And then they're dead to this plus this. Morning, Ranting Bob. These are my clicks. My clicks are amazing. Do 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 do. So Negate. Their combo loses to Damping Sphere, right? Because they cast a bunch of spells. They can't combo through Damping Sphere. Their combo literally involves casting a bunch of Myrrh. Right? They have to cast spells to get their come into play triggers. Yeah, they cast them. Alright. Just gonna give that one a quick timeout there. I think I like this board plan. Yeah, they cast all the Retrievers. They generally cast them for free with Heartless Summoning, but like if there's a Damping Sphere in play, they're gonna cost more and more. Yeah, so that's good. Collective Brutality, like, isn't good in this matchup, but I think it's better than like Dispel and Disdainful Stroke, right? Slacker, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to everybody. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Creature removal generally doesn't stop the combo. They do have the historic creature that could help them combo. So maybe I'm supposed to leave in the Dismember and the Cast Down over these Collective Brutalities. I guess I could see that. Let's do that. I think it's pretty marginal either way. It's time I paid the troll toll. I don't think Slacker is asking to get timed out. I think they're referring to subbing. Welcome back, Slacker. I think this hand... I didn't board in Cast Down. I boarded in Dismember and Murderous Cut. That's why I didn't board this in fact. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. I think turn 3 click is too slow, especially on the draw. Yeah, that seems good. That seems great, right? Huh. Yeah, I think I'm in for that, actually. You've ruined my life, just so you know. I haven't played Magic for 5 years, but I just can't stop watching your stuff. Zero apologies, Lufos. Def is the man with the brand new Twitch Prime. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate it. Hey, they mulled us into a Bitterblossom. God bless you. They fire even if it just looks like you're asking. The mods are very bloodthirsty, to be fair. I've never tuned into the stream and you're playing with that wet ball in the sideboard. Damping Sphere is a very good Magic card. It's a very, very good Magic card. I'm gonna flash in this Clique and take a peek at their hand and see what they have going on. Nope, you can keep all those. Never forget, chat, the best Vendilion Cliques are the ones where you can look at their stuff and go, yeah, you can keep those. Those are the best Vendilion Cliques. You are not obligated. You want to look at their hand and go, is there a problem you can't solve? Take that one. Otherwise, if you can solve the rest of the cards that they have, just like, yep, keep them. Yep, exactly. The best Jace upticks are the ones where you're like, yep, keep that one right where it's at. And then I should just upkeep click them here, right? Yeah, they know we're gonna click them, so they're dead. While we're waiting for the second match in this league to pop, I'd just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer, memer, content producer here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30+ hours a week. We play tons of Modern. We play some Legacy. We play some Vintage. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to stream full-time like I do. They keep me employed here. You can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hogan PayPal, at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags there. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone to Hooglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about receiving your complimentary timeout. At any rate, we are heading on into the next match here. It seems fine. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 maybe spray to 1-drop if they have an extra one. Mistbind Clique for later, perhaps. That's a handful of big scaries. Main deck Deflecting Palm. Okay. Okay, I'll take the Grim Lavamancer here. Main deck Deflecting Palm is spicy. I think this matchup's kind of okay for us. Swift Spear's a good draw. See if they bolt me here or not. It's weird that they didn't just spike me pre-combat. Seems like a bad use of their mana if they're planning to do this anyways. So they have Rift Bolt, Lava Spike, Deflecting Palm, and then one card I don't know currently. We really want to draw one of our 3 main deck copies of Collective Brutality here. Fatal Push, Dismember, Murderous Cut, also good draws. Suspend this Rift Bolt probably. Is this deck pretty expensive in paper? I guess Clique's dollar bills still? Are they the expensive card? Man, I really wish we'd draw a spell at some point. Drawing a spell would be sweet. So we're going to 12. The Spike's going to take us to 9. The Swift Spear is going to take us to 3. If we don't draw a Collective Brutality like this turn, we're probably dead. Bitterblossoms are $50? That's so absurd. That's probably too little too late. So Spear's already dealt like 6 points of damage here. It was a very good draw for them on 1. Oh, Brutality's expensive too, right? I forgot about that one. All right, so this is probably just like upkeep Mistbind you. And then like hope to race. Well, I mean, we're going to tap their lands out here. So, like, this turns all their lands off for the turn, which means we get to 7 them next turn. Which means I only need to draw Collective Brutality or Spellstutter Sprite to deal with their Deflecting Palm here. I mean, we can kind of race the palm, chat. We can kind of race the palm with this champion effect. Do I think I'll get to landfall aggro today? I don't know. It depends on how long this league and how long Mardu Pyromancer take. If I get through this league and I get through Mardu Pyromancer, we will definitely play landfall aggro as the last deck of the day. We could also rip the Singleton Snare. We have a lot of very good draws here. We have 3 sprites, a snare, we have some cryptic commands. We have a bunch of cards that let us effectively race here, which is like really impressive, right? Because not only did they rip the perfect thing on 1 after we Thoughtseize them, but we really haven't drawn spells this game. We've had, what, 4 spells in 12 cards? We've had 4 spells in 12 cards, and we're in a position that we could still be winning this game. Unless we're dead right now. Looks like we're dead right now. Sad. You know? It's fine. We weren't going to get there anyways. Wow. We were around the 4 spells and 15 cards plan. Alright. Negates. And this. And these. And this. And this. And cut these Thoughtseizes. J. Tinney for Blue Black Mill. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Trim a couple of Bitterblossoms. Trim some Cryptic Commands. Trim this Dismember. I don't think I like cutting all of the Bitterblossoms because they make our Spellstutter Sprites a lot better and they do kill our opponent. You'd board in Damping Sphere. I mean, you are welcome to treat Damping Sphere like Surgical Extraction and board it in against everybody else. Damping Sphere, in my experience, is a lot like Stone Rain and Surgical Extraction. Twitch chat would just like to board them in every matchup. Yeah, I think boarding out 2 Blossoms against an aggressive deck is fine. I also think just like the risk associated with leaving Blossom in is pretty low between Collective Brutality and Mistbind Clique to like turn them into useful things. It's possible that Batterskull is not quite good enough here and I should just leave a Cryptic Command in. It's good. Hopefully they have a creature on 1. And again, like, playing, like, one of the things that, like, existing Fae players have told me, and existing Fae players obviously must not have good builds, because this deck doesn't put up basically any results. Like, another reason to play a bunch of Vendilion Cliques in this deck is you have a bunch of Collective Brutalities to discard the extra one. So you have so many ways to turn extra Vendilion Cliques into useful resources that I can't really understand not playing a bunch of them. It's just like one of your best possible threats in so many games. Okay, here's a real question. Do I Brutality escalate here and risk them having an Eidolon? I feel like I can't just pass the turn not using my mana here. I'm gonna feel really bad if they play an Eidolon on 2, but I think I'm just supposed to cast this. Pretty sure I'm just supposed to cast this. They do have an Eidolon. Easy Searing Blood take here. So Eidolon will be a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. We also have a lot of removal in our deck to draw to. So we have like more Brutalities, we have Fatal Pushes, we have Cast Down, we have Murderous Cuts. We have a lot of ways to take this off the table. That is a Sword of Light and Shadow. So this is really small, but I should have played the Flooded Strand since this is fetching basic island here, because this can fetch basic swamp down the line. Yeah, this artwork is truly beautiful. Truly beautiful. I'm gonna play this click out, probably take their one of their lightning helixes away. If we don't find another piece of removal here soon, playing the Brutality aggressively could end up costing us this game just because this Eidolon's going to deal so much damage. They didn't play a third land for the turn, which means they have 5 spells that deal damage in their hand right now, which is a little scary. I know they have Helix, Bolt, Helix. So basically the question is, do I want to trade my Mutavault for one of the cards in their hand? This is my iteration of Blue-Black Faeries. Someone donated and said, hey, will you play your iteration of Blue-Black Faeries? And this is where my current list is at. I don't know if this archetype is good, but I definitely enjoy playing it. How do you like 4 Clique? It's probably the best card in your deck. Play 4. That's how I feel about that. How much do I work on this deck off stream? I mean, like, I don't know. I spent like 20 minutes thinking about it. Does that count? So I think I'm actually going to take the Lightning Bolt here because Lightning Bolt is really mana efficient. So I think I'd rather have them be less mana efficient rather than have them worry about them being able to gain health here. So I'd rather take away their mana efficiency rather than anything else. Those little snippets where you don't have time to read it, that's just like encouraging you to go follow me on Twitter, you know? It's like, hey, you should go do this. I'm gonna leave this back to block here this turn, I think. I dropped the bridges because I wanted to try different things. I wasn't able to consistently get my hand empty fast enough to feel like they were having a meaningful impact on the games. So I'm trying a couple of sweepers in the board. I think I have Damnations in this build. Is it Damnation? I think I was Damnation. Yeah, I added Damnation and some more spot removal. Because I kept getting my hand stuck full of cards. You don't use Twitter? Well, you should use Twitter just to follow me. I need y'all to pad my numbers, chat. It's easier to get free shit when you have more Twitter followers. Come on now. I need y'all to give me the power to shill. It's the Sword of Gain 3 life. Sword of Gain 3 life. I'm just Jeff Hoagland everywhere, Fancy Penguin. Just twitter.com/Jeff Hoagland. Wow, this is actually pretty good for us, right? So, like, they're getting to do this and then hit us with this Eidolon. But, like, now, next turn, if they attack with this, I get to animate Mutavault, equip the sword, and hit them. So, like, they got in for a little bit of damage. But, like, I get to gain some health now. Like, that didn't seem like a very profitable exchange from them. See, there, Mystic Snake is doing it right. They know all the sweet things happen on my Twitter. And, like, next turn, I can even, if I crack both these fetch lands, like, if they play another Eidolon and then don't attack, I can actually animate and equip Creeping Tar Pit, right? And this is why I took the Lightning Bolt out of their hand, because I didn't want them to have efficient 1-mana removal to interact with my creature lands while I was equipping the sword to them. Tantrum tries hard with that brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Welcome. So they threw a Rift Bolt over in the corner there. Are we attacking? We are attacking. Okay, so this gives me a heads up at what's on top of my deck. Alright, that's just an island. Do I want to fetch here? I really don't, right? I think we're dead, chat. I think we're dead. I can go up to 8. I can go up to 8. Oh, I should have played this Tar Pit tapped. I didn't need that extra mana. That was a mistake. Yeah, I'm dead. They have Rift Bolt and they have Lava Spike in their hand. Maybe I need to, I think maybe my Collective Brutality on 2 was wrong there. It was just too aggressive. My hand was too cold to turn to Eidolon to make playing the Brutality when I played it correct, I think. What did we beat round 1? Heartless Summoning combo. That's actually the first time we've lost a burn with this. We've played it like 3 or 4 times now. Yeah, I think I should have held the Brutality till at least 3 because of the potential of Eidolon. I like sort of Light and Shadow because it's a card that generates card advantage, and in the grindy matchups, not only does it generate card advantage, but your health total is very important in this deck. Bitterblossom is a card that will kill you, so sort of Light and Shadow and Batterskull are additional grindy tools that help ensure our Bitterblossoms don't end the game on us. Against decks like Jeskai Control, you want that way to gain a little bit of health. I just played card for card the Grixis Shadowless that Ben Friedman top 8 of the Grand Prix with. If you look at that match that we just played and come to the conclusion this deck needs more tools for burn, you don't understand how to build decks. Like, not only should I have potentially mulliganed more aggressively, but I sequenced poorly. And like the first game, we almost won and we had 4 spells and 12 cards. Looking at those games and saying that we need more cards is being super results oriented. I'm kind of curious with all the complaints about pro play and MTG, how well you would have to play at GPs. An absurd amount, Night Stars, an absurd amount. And an absurd amount is the answer. You make far more money as a content producer than you do as someone playing stuff. Like, Caleb easily has the most Twitch subscribers out of any Magic content producer on Twitch. I believe he's over 2,000. I currently have almost 1,700 sub points. So like, just, do $3 times that number of sub points per month and figure out what that is per year. And it's more than most Magic professionals make. So, Creeping Tar Pit is a way to let us basically play more land. So, decks like this generally want to play fewer lands than this, but they also want to hit their early land drop. So, Creeping Tar Pit basically allows you to play more lands while also having a higher density of action. So while hands like this, but even this hand wasn't that awkward with the Tar Pits, right? Like, we had tapped land, 1 mana spell tapped land. So like, even with a double Tar Pit opener, I still had action to take. How much does playing in paper tournaments help bring in viewers and readers versus online to make money? Well, I mean, Caleb basically doesn't play in tournaments. He plays in as few as that. Caleb and I, neither of us play in any tournaments, and Newmont doesn't really play in any either, right? Golden Oreo Mini, thank you for the 3-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. Thanks for keeping me employed. But how many tournaments does he play in? Newmont qualified for a PT, correct. Caleb's qualified for some PTs in the past. It's not a lot of SCG events. He's played like 2. I believe it's 2 this year. I've played like 2 this year. Newmont was like the first person to do like a 24-hour or a 365-day Magic stream, right? I believe that's where Newmont's background came from, where he gained some notoriety. He was very early into streaming Magic, and he was like the first person to do a 365 Magic stream. So I'm gonna crack them for 4 here, and then during their upkeep, I'm gonna Mistbind Clique them, and they concede. All right, so this is the style of matchup where you generally want more cards that play to the board and less cards that interact with the stack and cards in their hand. So I want to prioritize bringing in things like Cast Down and Damnation and Batterskull and Sword of Light and Shadow. And I want to minimize cards like Thoughtseize and Inquisition that interact with my opponent's hand but don't answer threats that they have on the table. I don't know how many Collective Brutalities I want to leave in this matchup. So while Brutality takes worse cards out of the opponent's hand, I like leaving in some of these to have extra ways to kill Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant is one of my opponent's best ways to interact with the things we have in play. I feel like I'm going to leave in 2 Inquisition and 1 Collective Brutality here. Yeah, it hits early skews too. I'm going to do that. I like Spell Snare as a singleton. Could be bad, but I like that it generates tempo for us. It also tags things like Terminate and stuff like that. He qualified for the PT off of Mox. That makes sense. That makes sense. Did I miss the comment from Tantrums? Yep, you should whisper me for decks, but you should take a look at this too for the time being. You have a pseudo freeze on adding decks to the queue until I can get it back under control. You're confusing your Caleb's, Cala Jones. Caleb Shear plays a ton of paper tournaments. He plays almost all the SCG tournaments. Caleb Durward doesn't play many events. Because, like, and I understand, as someone who now is, like, making money as a Magic streamer, when I go to a Magic tournament, I'm losing a ton of opportunity cost money. Like, playing Magic at a tournament versus streaming is like both playing Magic and both things I enjoy, but like going to a Magic tournament, I'm very unlikely to make money, whereas streaming, I'm guaranteed to make money while I stream. So like, even though I enjoy playing in tournaments off and on, like as far as like from an EV perspective, I'm much better off hanging out here with all of y'all, because y'all are great. Y'all are great. That's not true, Unknown Rum. He played in the individual open in Milwaukee. Correct. The costume at the Milwaukee Open was worth good exposure. You're not wrong about that. All right, so do I want to cast down this or do I want to dismember it? I think I just want to cast down, because dismember could be 1 mana later. No, I exclusively do leagues. It's hard to manage. It's hard to manage versus player. Trying to play against viewers just leaves some amount of people salty that they didn't get picked. You want to try and play against me, join a friendly league while I'm streaming and queue up? Yeah, but like that marketing only goes so far, dude. It's Corey. Like the number of new people that I gain from like doing something like an SCG event is pretty minimal, I think, most times. Yeah, that's true too. That's actually a concern. Like the fact that their Goyfs can get out of my Dismember range is something that I need to think about. Pretty sure we're bidding Snapcaster here, so I can flash and click to pressure this Liliana next turn. That's a strange question, Jade Kit. I'm not sure. Like, that question isn't, like, a cut and dry question. Like, what decks need is going to depend on what type of deck they are. I narrowly lost SCG Player of the Year the only year that they had it. So, they had SCG Player of the Year as a thing in 2016 or whatever it was. And that was the last year I ground a bunch of opens. Even my videos are a little on the long side a lot of the time, Hangman. Gotta quantify your statements here. Team Darkwater Thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. I thought that Blazing Infect deck was great. I really liked it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that here. I'm gonna need this Creeping Tar Pit alive to pressure this Liliana, ideally. So, Todd Stevens was the player of the year last year, but they didn't give him buys or anything meaningful for being player of the year. So it didn't really, like, make sense to me. So I wasn't sure, like, if he didn't get anything for it, like, did it really matter? He technically had the most points, though. No, Todd didn't. Tom Ross got 3 buys the time he got it, but they immediately ended that system. Well, we're all Magic all the time now, Team Darkwater. That's not a bad idea. I should make some shirts for my channel. I actually don't have an event sponsor right now, so if I'm gonna go to Indianapolis next month, that's not a bad idea. And this is a great example of why the creature lands are so good, and getting to play more than 4 creature lands is a big part of why I like this deck. The fact that this archetype gets to play 25 lands and 6 creature lands means even games like this, you get to use your lands to do things. Cryptic Command is a great draw here, so I get to kill their Liliana here, and if they attack us with this Raging Ravine, I'm probably gonna Cryptic Bounce it. Yeah, he had 2 buys for being on the leaderboard, Zach. How often do I play Paper Magic? Once every 3 or 4 months, maybe a little bit less often than that. I'm planning to attend the Open in Indianapolis at the end of next month, and I'm planning to attend the Las Vegas Open. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. You basically screw like a 25 land deck and flood like a 19 land deck. It's a great perspective to have it. The Las Vegas Open is the weekend. This was a bad sequence on my part. I should have realized that they were going to try and block when I did this. All right. If they have a good draw, we could maybe get out of control here. Maybe I should have just left this back. Okay, Murderous Cut's not a bad pickup. The Las Vegas Open is the weekend before Thanksgiving, I believe. It's a team tournament. Okay. Hopefully, we draw an untapped land here so that way I can fire up Tar Pit plus hold up Murderous Cut for this Raging Ravine. The Wargate deck was really bad, Luda. Really, really bad. But you probably didn't need me to tell you that. I don't think I'm supposed to Inquisition them here. I think I'd rather leave up Murderous Cut for their Raging Ravine. So I'm gonna like draw step click here. I think the chance of them having a Lightning Bolt or a Fatal Push that they didn't cast are pretty low here. Yeah, I don't attend F&M, and I don't own Paper Magic cards, so like the only tournaments I really play are like larger ones. Scavenging Ooze, Maelstrom Pulse. I'm gonna take the Scavenging Ooze. That gains them health, which makes racing hard. Now I feel bad that I didn't Inquisition them last turn, because I definitely drew that Maelstrom Pulse last turn. it was worth holding up the cut here. Can they pulse plus attack? No, they can't. They're one short, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is aggressive. I wonder if they drew an untapped land. If they drew an untapped land, they wouldn't have tanked, right? I wonder if they drew a 2-mana spell. Feels like they probably drew a 2-mana spell. I feel like this attack signifies a 2-mana spell. Did I play any video games? No, not recently. Does Hearthstone count? I played a bunch of Skyrim for a while, but I haven't touched that very recently. That was a great draw. They draw like a Terminate here, maybe? Nope, they just drew a land. Not playing the land out seems loose. In general, especially tapped lands, you shouldn't hold those to bluff. You should just play them out in case you need the mana the following turn. I have no idea, Full Metal. Oh, they could be playing around us having Liliana the Veil. That makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't think about that. Oh. Don't mind if it is. Did you stutter? I didn't catch that. What'd you say? We're done on board. Tempo. Tempo. Boop 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 boop. Boop 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 boop. Love my tar pits. They're wonderful tar pits. Don't cut the tar pits. They are wonderful. How are you doing, folks? Hope everyone's having a good Friday. You're 2-1 with blue-black fairies here. If you enjoy this deck and you haven't seen us stream it before, you should check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there. My deck has 5 4-mana spells in it, and you often want more mana with Snapcaster Mage. You have plenty of fairies to reveal to Secluded Glen. We have 12, which we have 14. We have 14 fairies, which is plenty to reveal to Secluded Glen. We died to Burn, which is generally an okay matchup. We flooded and died a little bit in game 1, and I punted game 2. Seems good. Turn 2 Blossom, turn 3 Clique. Turn 3 Clique, Vendilion Clique. I am not a fan of the Blue Moon style decks. We're gonna try a Jeskai for the Tar Pit jingle. Thanks, J10A. We're gonna try a Jeskai possibility storm deck at some point in the future, but I really don't like the straight blue-red decks. Like, not having hard removal in the current format and having kind of a clunky, slower finish feels really bad in my opinion. Alright, so this is interesting. Am I supposed to stick the Bitterblossom? I feel like I'm supposed to Brutality them here because I would like to be able to take a Sylvan Scrying if they have it, or an Ancient Stirrings. Am I supposed to drain them here? I almost feel like I'm supposed to drain them too, right? Because this is just a straight race, so like turning a land into drain seems reasonable. This also lets me know how aggressive I need to be with the Clique. Alrighty, well, the worst part about looking at Tron's hand is you then know how lucky they are when they Tron you on 3. There is a list in the donation queue. So they're going to cast Sylvan Scrying this turn. You can read all about the cards I like from Core 17 in my article on Gathering Magic today. I think I want to just play Bitterblossom and get that pressure going here. I'm feeling all right, Ralk. I'm like a 5 out of 10 or so, 4 out of 10. I've definitely felt better as the day's gone on. My stomach's still a bit upset, but I'm not doing too bad. Definitely could be worse. Yeah, I ended early yesterday because I had, my wife's been down sick for the last couple of days. She's been home from work, and I've had, let's just say, unpleasantness for the last day. Let's go with unpleasantness. All right, Blossom plus Tar Pit plus Clique is going to be a very fast clock here, which is great. So we're going to... I don't have anything else going on, so I'm going to draw a step, click them here just in case. Yeah, I probably should play a tapped Glen there. I don't think it really matters one way or another. I think we're supposed to take Oblivion Stone here, right? Because there's no way we can race if this happens. This, like, makes them more likely to hit Tron, which is scary, but I think it's right to do that. It's like, I'm definitely not winning the race if they get a no stone off. And, like, if we draw, like, a Cryptic Command or a Spellstutter Sprite here, we could be in a pretty good spot. Yep. So, really looking for a Cryptic Command or a Mistbind Clique here. We're going to be a little bit short of spriting Wormcoil next turn. Mistbind would be the nut here. Looking for one of our 4-mana spells for sure. Sure, we'll draw another land. Alright, well, we can still hit a Cryptic Command to tap Wormcoil down next turn so it can't attack us and gain health for them. If we draw Collective Brutality, we can actually burn them out next turn. If they draw another Tron piece, they get to Ulamog us and we're probably fucked. But if they just play Wormcoil next turn and we draw Brutality, we actually get to attack them for 9 and then Brutality drain them for 2. I don't remember how I referenced Ulamog. I probably didn't specify. And the message gets across. They could technically play whatever. I probably just said Ulamog and my editor had to guess. Jeff is the best MTG girl cam girl, right? Almost certainly Brecken Sky. Pulling an Anoronics here. We're just gonna have notifications for the rest of the league. You didn't ask me to dance, but am I allowed to dance? You can dance if you wanna. Leave them cats behind. I'm not that much of a high roller. Oh, they got Ghost Quarter. Come on, Brutality. Oh wait, Brutality doesn't do it, right? Because this doesn't have haste. So I need Cryptic Command or Mistbind Clique. Murderous Cut. That might actually get us there, huh? That might actually get us there. So I can't attack with Tar Pit. I'm still waiting for my twerk. So I can't attack with Tar Pit this turn because obviously we don't have a graveyard. But I do get to kill this, which is nice. Worth noting, if this had been a cast down, I would have been able to attack with Tar Pit this turn. So they can Ulamog us here. Do we need to dodge land? Why do we need to dodge land? If they Ulamog us, they're still dead, right? They're still dead. Hey, Amethy, for some reason my sub randomly disappeared, so I had to spend real money. So you love me. Do you love me? Thank you for the 3-month resubscription, Amethy. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, they're dead, right? Like, they can take out Clique and Tar Pit. Oh, I'm dumb. They're at 6. They're at 6. And they can take out Clique and Tar Pit. So they're going to kill Clique and Tar Pit? Yeah, I'm dumb. So it's unfortunate. If that had been cast down, we would have had them dead here. So that's kind of unfortunate. Walking Ballista, that's vomit-inducing. Mistbind Clique is still lethal here. Cryptic Command is still lethal. So we just want one of these 4-mana spells in our deck. Want one of our 4-mana spells. That's an Inquisition of Kozilek. That takes Walking Ballista away. So they're going to 3, but then they're gaining 3. So this means Cryptic Command could still potentially... We get one more draw to Cryptic Command here now. If we draw a Cryptic Command, we could. They exiled 2 Cryptics with that attack. Does Mistbind Clique do it too? I think Mistbind Clique does it too. I believe Mistbind Clique also works, because Mistbind Clique will tap their lands, and then we chump block this, eat this, and then crack them. Yeah, Mistbind Clique should also be lethal. No, Brutality's not lethal because we're only attacking for 3. Oh, Mistbind Clique's not good because they have another Worm Coil. So we need exactly our last Cryptic Command. That was a really close game. It's a really close game. To bring in all of these, and I get to bring in all of these. If this, and this is the things I want to keep track of, like when I'm checking out these main deck removals. If this had been cast down, we would have won that game. 10 out of 10 would have won that game if that had been cast down. Spell Snare is probably too narrow here. Just tagging Sylvan Scrying isn't good enough. Fatal Push is rancid, right? I'll bring in one of these cast down, speaking of. Dismember is worse than Cut. That saves us the same amount of health per mouse and leaves them with a 6 power lifelinker instead of 3 power worth of lifelink, so that's much worse. So the turn I cut the Worm Coil didn't. Should play 2 Dismember. Huh. If my Murderous Cut had been cast down, I would have been able to attack with Creeping Tar Pit the turn I killed their Worm Coil engine, which meant I would have dealt 3 more points of damage, so I would have had lethal. How many dollary dues do I have to throw at you for a sword? Is it a lot? I hope not. I generally don't let people buy swords, Brecken Sky, except for absurd amounts. I like to discourage absurd amounts. I wonder if I was supposed to play Mutavault that turn, so that way I could start attack. I think maybe I was supposed to play this that turn, so I could get in a chip shot next turn. Like, every point of damage counts here. Everybody gets one after throwing dollars at me for 12 months. So I can sprite No Stone here. I can sprite a Sylvan Scrying. I can sprite Ancient Stirrings. Don't mind me, just sitting behind my counter magic. And since I have this Sprite, I'm going to go ahead and get in here with this Mutavault. Just pressure, pressure, pressure. Absurd as in the people on my bits leaderboard have swords. So you can take a peek at the provider of the realms leaderboard there. God, the creature lands in this deck are so good. I love playing 6 creature lands. It's my favorite. We are 2-1 currently. We're down a game in this 4th match. This one's looking okay for us, depending on what their payoffs are here. We have Cryptic Command to answer the first one, and then I have 2 creature lands to fire up and race. Ooh, that's a good one. Counter this, bounce this. If I counter this, bounce this, I can only Sprite for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can Sprite for 6 next turn. Yeah, I guess that's worth it. That's good. That's really good, chat. Well, they have a Ghost Quarter, chat. They have Ghost Quarter. Jeff, if I bring a Nerf sword to an event you're at after 12 months and put a piece of duct tape that says message deleted over my mouth, yes, definitely. That sounds like a great Twitter picture. 2 sprites can counter Ulama, great. This is Walking Ballista, isn't it? I think bouncing the Spellstutter Sprite was wrong. If I wouldn't have bounced the Spellstutter Sprite, I would have drawn this, and then I would have had this Cryptic Command. I think bouncing the Spellstutter Sprite was wrong there. I let chat catch me up in taking the cute play, and not only did it take pressure off the table, but I couldn't Sprite another Karn anyways, and it put me 1 less card deep. I think if I had more action in hand, I would have been okay to bounce the Spellstutter Sprite, but I think because I was actionless, I should have just been digging for more hard counters. Yeah, it only beat Wormcoil. There's a Ghost Quarter in play. I'm just timing people out now instead of yelling at them. Just timing people out. I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, but I think the position we were in, we didn't really care about Wormcoil Engine. So, like, making a play that's good against a card that we don't really care about doesn't make sense. Couple of low variance hands to start off the 5th match here. Couldn't you have pacted for Snapcaster Mage? Oh, chat. I'm gonna kill their thing and take a card out of their hand here, I think. Escalating. Discarding this Inquisition. Karen Zoo, thank you very much for the 7-month resubscription. Welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, almost certainly discarding Spellstutter Sprite here, right? Daffy, are you asking to get timed out, or did you honestly not hear what I said? Generally, I give subs a little bit more leeway, but Yes, it checks it on both. It's an intervening if clause. It checks it on enter and on resolution. If we had +2 cards, we'd probably be in an okay spot here, but the fact that we mulligan to 5 probably means we're just dead. That's definitely one of the nice things about Hearthstone. In addition to not having resource variance, you never mulligan to Oblivion. No, we had 4 tokens. Then you should just ban the combo decks instead of making everyone mulligan more. Also, like, we don't really have empirical evidence to suggest that's necessarily the case. You're gonna bin this Thoughtseize to the Liliana Plus and then play Vendilion Clique. Or it's an intervening if clause, but you know that, Zach. Right? Is it an if clause? It has an if in there, right? Oh, it's not an intervening if, right? There's no if in there? That's something else? God, why are things templated differently? Why can't we template things consistently? So they discarded Brutality. Is their last card Bedlam Reveler? It's a piece of spot removal. We're going to be in a lot of trouble. Except if it's that one. That one's fine. That piece of spot removal could stay right where it is. Alright, well, they can trade their Liliana for my Clique next turn, and then it's like my 3 lands versus their 3 lands at the top of our deck. So, like, considering we mulligan to Oblivion this game, we're in a pretty okay spot. That being said, I'm sure they're about to draw Bedlam Reveler and just bury us deep in the ground. Bedlam. Until they draw Bedlam Reveler, we're in an okay spot. I feel like that's the story of, like, every fair mid-range deck against Mardu. It's just like, well, unless they draw Bedlam Reveler, we're okay here. Just gonna time people out that are still fixated on what happened 20 minutes ago. Ooh. It's not quite Bedlam Reveler good, but that's like, that's our grindy card, chat, right? That's our one that's here to grind. Get him. Get him. Even untapped land's not bad here, because let's just start killing them with the Tar Pit. Tilt! Tilt! Should have been more specific, Hogland. Should have been more specific. We are 2-2. This is not the last deck of the day. We're playing Mardu Pyromancer after this. And then we'll see what comes after that. I might do one more. I ended early yesterday, so I might run late today. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, right? Maybe there should be a third. Some of my other builds, we've been wanting to draw this card a lot. It's very possible I should have a third click, a third Mistbind over the third Cryptic Command. Or maybe just 3 of each, honestly. This card's been very impressive every time we've had it. I haven't played enough Blue-Red Faeries. We only played 1 league with that deck, so I'm not really sure I have a good opinion on it. I'm waiting until Alpine Moon releases with 2019 to play some more Blue-Red Faeries, because the tournament that I'm playing in is going to be post-2019, so I don't want to test the deck before it has the card that I'm interested in playing. Dusty was terrible. I won't be accepting that deck again. That deck's really bad. That's unfortunate. Cryptic Command is one of the best spells in this deck. It's very, very flexible. Very, very flexible. Pretty sure I just want to trade these off aggressively since I keep getting more. Rite of Undoing. Now that card just seems like some nonsense. I think I'm gonna Dismember. And again, like, this Dismember is worse than a cast down. There should probably just be 2 cast downs in my main deck. This Dismember and this Murderous Cut have been some nonsense. So, and again, one of the upsides of playing so many copies of Collective Brutality is that you get to smooth out some of that awkwardness that these decks have by, like, getting too many expensive cards or drawing too many copies of the specific cards. I really don't think so. Your health total is a really important resource in this archetype. So, like, every point of health counts when you're trying to Bitterblossom people. I won't be taking Dusty again except for 100 plus Paradise Sal. He goes with the rest of the no-fly list people. It's bad to the point of not being good content. Yep, that Dismember, that's exactly the way you want to think about it. That Dismember cost me 2 Faeries or 2 turns, depending on how you want to look at it. What's going on, Marty? See what they do here. Try to figure out what we want to do with this Cryptic Command. Sure. Opinions on Reveler's design. I think it's sweet. I think it's powerful. I think it's silly that people think Bedlam Reveler's okay, but Treasure Cruise needs to be banned. Oops, did I say that out loud? I think both Bedlam Reveler and Treasure Cruise are fine Magic cards that should be legal. I think if they flashback Souls here, I'm going to go counter their spell, tap their team. How do we feel about tap their team, bounce their spirit? I kind of like tap their creatures, bounce their spirit. That's bad if they have Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt because they can counter my spell. I'm just going to tap their creatures, draw a card. No, I think Dig was fine. I think Modern is a format that's not about card advantage and grindy long games. Modern is a format about killing people as soon as possible. So, like, banning cards that help decks that are looking to grind and go long is nonsense to me. On my way to that sword. Have to say I miss the Jeff that sings the Karn song. What's going on, Emperox? Whoa. Okay, so they have a removal spell here then? Is that why they didn't flash back their souls? They have Terminate and Fatal Push. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, I think I want to fire this up and encourage them to kill it here. We need Leovold. Round to 6. Means if we hit like another Cryptic Command or a Snapcaster Mage, maybe we could be okay here. Although I've lost my 6th land now since I played into the Fatal Push. Yeah, but the decks that were casting Treasure Cruise on turn 2 didn't do anything. They were casting cards to draw more cards. This is arguably better than Treasure Cruise in the decks that get built. But again, people will go out on a limb and be like, this is like Ancient Stirrings and Karn and Hollowed One. It has a deck building restrictions. Deck building restrictions make everything okay, Jeff. Everything is fine if it comes with a deck building restriction. That's basically what I feel like people are saying. No, Gitaxian Probe was the fucked up card in that deck, Anaronix. Gitaxian Probe was the card that really pushed that deck over the top. So, half the chump block, Bedlam Reveler. Take 1 here. I don't need to fetch this turn, so we'll avoid doing that. I have plenty of basics in my deck anyways. We should ban Liz. That's a weird attack to me. I'm gonna trade here. Most deck restrictions are lame / easy. Can you name one deck in Modern that plays a card people defend as deck building restrictions that actually alter the cards they put in their deck? Like, are there cards Tron doesn't play because they're not colorless? Or does Tron just want to play colorless cards anyways, so it gets to play this extra thing for free? That's really what happens a lot of the time, right? Like, Tron just wants to play these cards anyways. Metalcraft, sure. And most people don't play Metalcraft cards. Actually, that's not even true. Affinity doesn't go out of its way. Most Opal decks want to play a bunch of artifacts anyways. Rhino Who, with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. All right, so I can... Wow, are we actually going to turn the corner here? I feel like we could maybe turn the corner here. Collected Company is a good one. Collected Company is a good example. I like that one. That is a card that actually has a deck building restriction that people have to follow. Sweet. So they have... Are they out of lootings? We might actually grind through this. God bless Bitterblossom. Yeah, but Traverse isn't a very good card. Like, the Traverse decks aren't very good decks. I agree with you that there's bad synergy cards. I'm talking about the busted synergy cards. The cards like Bedlam Reveler and Ancient Stirrings. This is my latest Fey list. There's a bunch of things I don't like in it after having played games here today, though. Are they almost dead? I feel like they're almost dead. I haven't done the math because math is for blockers, but I'm gonna attack them here. And hope they don't rip a lightning bolt. They're actually just dead, right? No, they're at 6, so don't bolt me, bro. I guess Collective Brutality is lethal too. Why are they conceding? Oh no, they have to take 3, right? Nope, they could have gone block. That concession feels early. I don't think Reveler is a ban-worthy card. My goal in pointing those things out is that they should unban other things that are interesting. So I think I'm gonna trim Inquisitions in this matchup. I definitely want more cards that play to the board on average. I think Thoughtseize is fine because taking Bedlam Reveler is very good. So here's actually a hot take, Smozdel. I think anybody who says Dig Through Time is okay, but Treasure Cruise isn't, doesn't understand the power level of those cards, because Dig is way fucking better than Treasure Cruise. Like, it is absurd how much more powerful Dig Through Time is than Treasure Cruise. It's much, much better. Dig is very, very good. And Treasure Cruise is, like, great, but Dig is, like, fucked up good. It's a very powerful card that's sweet. Do I want Damnation? What do we think? Do I want these Damnations? I don't know the answer to that, Daffy Man. I don't know the answer. I feel like I want these Damnations. How do we feel about cutting Clique here? Is that insane? It doesn't line up well against Lingering Souls. I feel like that's not insane. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut 2 Cliques and bring in these Damnations. Let's do this. I don't have enough experience with Affinity to know if that's good or bad. No, I don't think we want Spell Snare. I think I'd rather just have Fatal Push. I think I'd rather be able to play to the board more. Yay. Wait. That we mulliganed to 5 that game, right? Was that the game we mulliganed to 5? That game we just won? It was so long I don't remember. Wow, that's like super fucking impressive. They did also just mulligan to 3, so. Sure, but the decks that want to cast Cruise consistently are mostly just spinning their tires while they do that. They're not super impressive with what they're doing. How do we beat that card, chat? How do we beat that card? How do we beat? I know they've just mulliganed. I know they've just mulliganed to 3, but I don't think we can beat that card. Their hand was pretty good. It's got a Lily out of the Last Hope in it. God bless this sword. God bless this sword. They did forget to activate it last turn. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, chat. Oh, we've got Creeping Tar Pit. You're saying there's a chance, chat. I'm saying there's a chat. Enable the tar pit beatdowns, right? Mutavault. All right, another sprite. All right, let's do it. All right, creeping tar pit. Not losing to the mulligan to 3 depends on you. You are everything we need. Am I supposed to Collective Brutality them next turn? Yeah, Mardu Pyromancer is great. It's easily the best mid-range deck. It's easily the best mid-range and fair deck in Modern currently. We're actually going to be in the league. This is the 5th match of this league. We're going to be playing Mardu Pyromancer in the league after this. That gets blown out by a removal spell Artificer, so I don't think that's very good. It's a weird card to play out. I guess they just don't want it stuck in their hand. Can we just, like, talk about my creature lands again for a moment and how you shouldn't cut any of them? In fact, one of the things I'm not sure on, I have 1 Field of Ruin in this deck right now. There's a chance that 1 Field of Ruin should just be a 3rd Mutavault, and we should just have 7 creature lands. There's a very good chance this deck should just be playing 7 creature lands. How do we feel about clicking the Murderous Cut out of my hand? That's fine. I guess now I'm gonna click them. That link, the fisheye, if you read it, it's updated and says that the queue's currently on a freeze, so that's fine. I'm gonna click them now. Alright, well, we got them because they were auto-passing. They must have given up mostly because they mulliganed so low. Alright, so what are we literally did not play a game 3 this league. Five matches, two O's in every direction. So what would I do after playing those matches? So again, this was my deck list to start with. People have been asking me. This is a deck list I've been working on. I like this archetype a lot. I think I would cut the Field of Ruin and just play another Mutavault. I really love the creature lands in this archetype. Let's just like play all of those. I think this Murderous Cut and this Dismember are nonsense. And I would play 2 cast downs in the main deck. I think the downside of this is pretty minimal. I think I'd figure out something to cut for another Mistbind Clique. I don't have a good card I would cut offhand, but I'm gonna put some thought into. I'm gonna get rid of something out of this main deck and put a 3rd Mistbind Clique in. For the fun I've had today, well, Jeff and Chad, I need to go home and make sure my AC is still functional for Blue-Black Mill and the fun I had today. Glad I signed up for Twitch and glad I subbed. Thank you for the support and the very generous bits, JTNE. I appreciate that. Be happy to bump Blue-Black Mill in the kill. Thanks for in the queue. Thanks for the support. Don't cut Inquisition. Inquisition is great. Inquisition is really, really good. Modern is a format that's about mana efficiency, and Inquisition allows you to be mana efficient while also Hollowed One is the reason why you don't play Go for the Throat. Affinity is the reason why you don't play Go for the Throat. How do you get in the subs Discord? Details on the sub Discord are here. So yeah, that would be my feedback. I don't know what exactly I'd fill with the last slot in the board. It just feels narrow to Fizzman, and I don't time people out for suggestions. Like, it's fine to bring it up again. I just feel like yeah, Snapcaster is a top-end card. So the thing about Snapcaster Mage, though, is Snapcaster Mage is what I like to refer to as, like, I talk about, like, Collective Brutality fixing the wrong half problem. Snapcaster Mage goes a long way towards fixing our wrong half problem as well. It's a card that's sometimes a discard spell, and it's sometimes a removal spell. It's sometimes a counter spell. Honestly, I think I'd maybe just cut the snare and then I'd figure out a last card. See, I think if I was gonna play blue-black Faeries again, this is, and look at how nice this is. Look at how beautiful the curve in this deck is, and you have to know that all the cards are correct, right? And Snapcaster Mage really is a 3-drop in this deck. So just like take a moment and appreciate how picture perfect this 60 is, and then you know in your heart of hearts that it has to be correct, because it's quite picture perfect, isn't it, chat? All right, what are we doing next? We got Mardu Pyromancer up next.